guys, it's Cassie and today we are going to be talking about luxury collaborations, why they're happening, what do I think about them, what are my honest and true and unfiltered feelings about them. I don't know about you, but at the moment it really feels like it's one luxury collab after another. They used to feel a little bit more random and therefore special, you know, they were once in a while. I spoke a little bit about this on my live stream with Kat and Amy. I'll have that linked below in case you haven't already seen it, but I just like the topic and I thought that we could do a little bit more of a deep dive. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're gonna love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Guys, are you ready? But I will by no means be able to remember all of them, okay? There are hundreds, if not thousands, of collaborations over the years, right? But the examples that I'll be choosing are just maybe the most recent or the ones just off the top of my head, okay? Luxury collaborations are by no means new, but we've just had so much of them recently that it's almost come to a point where if a brand isn't collabing, it's like, are you good? Like, are you keeping up with everybody else? I have kind of categorized these collaborations and I think that generally, there are more than these, but generally there are kind of four main types. Number one, you have the Luxe X streetwear. By the way, I will be saying X. I do know it's by or times in mathematical terms, but I think we've just been so used to calling it X that, you know, you can't really tell who's by who and who's what, okay? They're just two people X together, okay? We have Luxe X Luxe. We have Luxe X Non-Luxe. And we have Luxe X Random. That is like a Sims when you just press randomize and you get something weird come out at the other side, okay? Category number one, Luxe X Streetwear. And more recently, I think that this is the type that we've been seeing a lot of, okay? Louis Vuitton Supreme. Oh my gosh, that was the hottest collection at the time. That was so hard to get your hands on. They had these pop-ups, you couldn't get it online. If you look at the resale market now for those items, the prices are still astronomical. The first of its kind, if we're talking about a streetwear and a top high-end luxury label, this was crazy. A couple of weeks ago, we saw Supreme and Tiffany do their collaboration. Tiffany, this very kind of like heritage American jewelry brand. And then again, Supreme, the kind of top of its class when you talk about streetwear. Two completely different worlds. You're like, hold on, where is this coming from and how and whatever? I think for these kind of collaborations, the driving force is to access a different customer that wouldn't necessarily buy luxury, okay? This is a customer that's already used to the drop mentality. That, as far as I'm aware, really stemmed from streetwear on, right, this is the last chance you're going to get this collection. You're in it, you get out. You haven't got a chance otherwise, you know? So that kind of drop mentality that comes with these collaborations, they're already used to that. They already know how that world works. And on top of that, they're also used to limited edition and collectibles. The second category is Luxe by Luxe. The biggest example that we have of this really is Gucci Balenciaga. They showed their collaboration in, was it March or something? And this, again, the first of its kind. Yeah, they're hack, okay? But to make everybody's life easier, it's a sudden collaboration. Now, I predict that this isn't necessarily something that we'll be seeing a lot of because it's not that easy to collaborate between huge fashion houses. They either have to be owned by the same parent company, in this case it was Kering. LVMH, again, the biggest luxury owner, you'll see collaborations within those brands, but you won't necessarily see, Kering and LVMH are very big competitors of each other, so you won't see crossover there. And outside of that, it has to be kind of designer-led. If we take something like Fendi, Versace, that was both creative directors coming together and saying, let's do something, right? Again, not necessarily huge competing parent companies there. And I think a part of the collaboration, aside from, you know, accessing new customers and whatever, is getting that boutique experience back that you don't necessarily get online with these collaborations. For the Gucci had a massive pop-up. Balenciaga was doing something fun in stores with a kind of graffiti artist drawing on the shopping bags when you bought something. Again, an experience that you're not going to get online. But let's talk about Luxe and non-Luxe. Jimmy Choo and Timberland. oh my gosh, would you ever pick those two names out of a hat to collaborate together? You have H&M previously has done a lot of collaborations with specific designers in specific years. Balmain H&M, Versace H&M, more recently Giambattista Valli and H&M. Now with each of these, I think each collaboration kind of has a different motivation. But I feel like if we take something like the Gucci North Face and the Jimmy Choo Timberland, both of these brands, Timberland and the North Face, have such iconic pieces that are almost, again, collectible. So you get the buy-in from the very loyal the North Face and Timberland customer into this one-of-a-kind collaboration, and then you get those luxury lovers buying in because it's different and interesting and new, right? I think with the H&M collaborations, these were produced by H&M, so you wouldn't necessarily have the quality of the designer, but it was the aesthetic that got you in. Here's my theory. The H&M customer buys into the collaboration, buys into the aesthetic, likes the aesthetic, this is their kind of introduction to it, and then maybe ventures into that brand for their, frontline, first line items. Then we have my Luxe X Random. Some of these to note: Louis Vuitton and the NBA, Balenciaga and Fortnite. This one I think is primarily, again, they're strategic with it. Let's take the Balenciaga Fortnite one. This one I think is actually very clever. Fortnite, I'm going to go ahead and assume the majority of players are young, okay? They're seeing Balenciaga, they can buy these Balenciaga skins, I think. I don't know how it works, okay? But they're seeing Balenciaga not only, on social media or whatever, but in the game. This is their introduction to luxury, right? So when they now are a bit older or have money or whatever, when it comes to, I think I want to buy myself a designer item, Balenciaga has kind of ingrained themselves in this game that, you play on a daily basis or whatever. It's almost like, let me have a look at Balenciaga, So I think there's also that kind of subconscious element to it that's very clever, especially with kind of getting that next generation of customers. Now let's explore why. As I mentioned with a lot of these, it's about accessing a new customer base. Now with all of these brands, they all have the heritage or their signature parts that make their brands theirs. But you also have to marry or kind of have this balance of what's classic and what's true to the brand and what's the future, what's pushing forward, let's innovate, let's do something different. And it's about that balance most of the time. And I think that these collaborations help them unlock that innovation part by going to a third party and doing something very different, a moulding of minds to create something one-off, very special and different. In Spring/Summer 2017, Vetements did a collection that was made up of entirely collaborations, okay? They had so many different collaborators, two of which were Manolo Blahnik and Juicy Couture. If we remember, they did like a head-to-toe Juicy tracksuit, but it was an all-in-one. It's kind of everything, I'm not going to lie to you. But when Demna was interviewed about this, he basically said, we went to the leaders in those industries to create something that we couldn't have otherwise. I've gotten ahead and I've twisted his words there, word for word. We thought we'd go straight to the brands who are making these things the best, and therefore execute something that maybe they couldn't have by themselves. Fendi and Rimowa is another example of this. Fendi don't do luggage. Okay, so how about, guess what? We partner with one of the biggest, most well-known luggage makers in luxury fashion to create luggage. There we go. I think another part of this and why they do collaborations is it brings the limited edition back to luxury. There are some brands we know, Chanel, Hermes, right? But for the majority of other luxury brands, if you want something, you walk in, you can buy it, okay? You don't need to play these games. It's not limited to this kind of custom or whatever, okay? And I think that limited edition brings a little bit more of that. You can't just wait. It's now or never. And if we look at something like a Balenciaga hourglass bag, you can buy it. Fair enough, there may be seasonal variations in collections and colours and sizes and stuff like that. But if I want a Balenciaga hourglass bag, I can go on the website, I can go on whatever website and I can get it. I can't get the Gucci Balenciaga hourglass hacker project bag because that's sold out. And you have to either pre-order or you have to be there with fast fingers, sharp digital elbows on the day of the drop. Here's where the differences lie, and I think that this is also a reason why they love doing a good collab. Another thing is that also during this time both brands are in the spotlight, okay? They're being talked about on social media, in newspaper articles, X, Y, and Z. They're getting attention. That gets more eyes on them, more people going to their website, more potential sales. Okay, so what are my thoughts on collaborations and all of that? As a consumer, it feels like a lot, right, of collaborations. However, I think that that's just reflective of luxury fashion as a whole at the moment. The consumption rate is so high. Whether we want more or the brands think we want more, we're getting a lot more. No longer is it spring, summer, autumn, winter, thank you very much, we're done. All of these brands are dropping capsule collections in between, or they're splitting up collections and doing drop one here, drop one then, all of this business. That, it does feel a lot. And this is just a part of it, you know. If there's going to be a lot of collection, well, there's going to be a lot of collabs as well. So I don't think that's a collab issue. I think that that's just like a luxury fashion industry issue. I think that it's fun. I'm not interested in all of them, which is great news for my wallet. Dior recently partnered with Sacai. I couldn't tell you the first thing about Sacai. I've heard it's a great brand. Good for them. Wonderful collab. Good for you. And some are literally plucked out of my dreams. Fendi Versace. I will be there. I am already putting in the work to make sure, fingers crossed, I get my hands on the items that I want, okay? And that's what's going to happen. We're going to absolutely love some. We're going to absolutely hate others, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. And I think that we all want to see something interesting and different and new and innovative. We just want it to be a collaboration with who we want it to be with, right? Sometimes it speaks to you, sometimes it doesn't. That's just fashion in general. Collabs aren't slowing down. We're going to be seeing more of them. Strap in, get ready. Let's just all hope it's the brands that we're interested in. Guys, let me know your thoughts on luxury collabs. Let me also know what would be your dream collab. That'll be fun. I'm going to leave a link to another video here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.